Pharmaceutical company Intravenous Infusions Limited has recorded significant growth in 2017 with revenue increasing by over 55%. The company is attributing a strong performance to the decision to reorganize its business units. At this annual general meeting held in Accra, Intravenous Infusions revealed it made a little over 6 million Ghana cedis more in revenue and profit after tax of over 2.7 million Ghana cedis compared with 2016. Earnings per share also increased by over 300%. Managing Director of the company, David Kluche, explains what contributed to the good performance.
We kind of strategize, look at all the options, look at the product offerings, and look at the segments, how we could segment them, and then focus on it. So after our own internal strategizing, we came out that we have to separate the business into two business units, the large volume and the small volume injectables, and focus on each one to bring out the strength of each one. And that was part of the strategy that we did. And then look at other internal IT infrastructure and things that could give you real-time information to be able to turn around your business.
The improved performance has, however, not been without some challenges, including inadequate working capital caused by delays in payment of claims to hospitals and other facilities by the National Health Insurance Authority.
When we sell, the reimbursement comes through the NHIA to the hospital to us directly, or to the regional medical stores, which then comes to us. Where there's a delay in receiving money from the National Health Insurance to the hospital, then that affects us. So as we speak now, there has been some delays in payments to us, and it's ranging up to about a year in some regions, which means that we have to find the finance to keep the factory going, right? And it becomes more expensive for us because I've got money which the government owes me, but I still got money I have to go and borrow money to do because I'm not getting my receivables.
Intravenous Infusions hopes to consolidate its performance in the coming years. In 2015, the company became the fourth equity to list on the Ghana Alternative Market. In line with this initial public offering, Intravenous Infusions would not pay dividend to shareholders for now. The board would consider a dividend policy for 2018 and beyond. The Bank of Ghana has appointed an advisor to directly supervise operations of Sovereign Bank. Joy Business understands the action took place around March this year, around the same time that an administrator was appointed to manage Unibank. There is more in the following report.
Sources say unlike Unibank, which had to deal with some serious liquidity crisis, Joy Business understands that this had to do with issues with the shareholders of the bank as well as its directors. The advisor, who is working closely with the Bank of Ghana, will be having direct supervision of the bank and try to put it on strong footing before any action is taken on it. A source says what the Bank of Ghana is doing is actually within the law in terms of dealing with the current challenges that the Sovereign Bank is currently going through. The banking law actually allows the regulator to appoint an advisor in such circumstances. Before this action by the Bank of Ghana, the bank had one Johan Reeder as its managing director, a seasoned practitioner in banking with 3 decades of experience. Johan is a retail and business banking specialist. Prior to his appointment as the managing director of Sovereign Bank, Johan was the chief executive officer of Chatouan Bank, Juba, South Sudan. He joined Chatouan Bank from the Barclays Africa Group in Johannesburg, where he was the head of branchless banking delivery from July 2011 through to March 2013. Well, Joy Business also gathers that the Bank of Ghana could soon take action on another bank in terms of taking over the administration of that particular bank. This is seen as part of measures to clean the banking industry.
Managers of some small and medium-scale enterprises are preparing themselves to court investor community thanks to a business acceleration initiative by the Cosmos Innovation Center. In all, 9 SMEs are participating in the KIC Business Booster program, expected to help them attract capital for expansion. JoyNews' Adelaide Arthur has been interacting with the business owners in our reports.
Solution Oasis makes beauty products. The company's beauty secret brand has a range of skincare and grooming products, including shea butter-based shower gels, soaps, creams, and lotions. The business has been around for 8 years, and the company's CEO, Francisca Brenda Opoku, says it's about time to scale up.
We have a lot of time struggled with our finances. We feel that now with the kind of line we have and the things we've built all over the years, we are just ready to explode on the market.
Minan Foods packages fresh eggs and is also into processing of Ghanaian foods. After nearly 12 years in business, the company is witnessing impressive gains, but its founder, Charity Anand Edupont, says the business needs a push to achieve its potential. These are 2 of 9 small and medium-scale enterprises benefiting from the Cosmos Innovation Center's Business Booster program.
We didn't work on impact at all. Okay. We only just worked on having our books investor ready, having our financials investor ready.
The business owners have learned how to manage accounts, validate business ideas, as well as how to make their enterprises attractive, all in an effort to woo investors. This is the second boot camp, and for these SMEs, the acceleration program couldn't have come at a better time.
After boot camp 1, I realized that I didn't even know my business as much as I do. And what helped most was that after what I had learned, I could really describe my business to make sense of it to any investor.
One of our weakest points in my business was our bookkeeping. We surely were doing something, but it wasn't enough to convince somebody to invest money in there. So it's made us clean up a lot of our acts, and we feel ready for investors and we feel ready for business by itself.
Programs Manager for Cosmos Innovation Center, Benjamin Jankesi, says the acceleration program aims to link agribusinesses to potential investors.
This is part of the 3-pronged approach of the Cosmos Innovation Center, where we are looking at the whole value chain. We're looking at collaboration, where we are networking with the industry and stakeholders to identify best practices, and also how we can influence change in the space of business, and also the incubation part where we are working with young startups or bringing in new innovative businesses, and the other part is the SME bit where we are helping already existing business to accelerate. And that's why we call it Business Booster, to give the business a boost.
Portfolio Manager of Root Capital, Francis Opoku Mensah, has been listening to pitches from the business owners. To get money from Root Capital, Mr. Opoku Mensah explains your business must have a track record.
They say capital is coward. It only goes to places where the safety will be assured. So we look at the track record, the management team. We look at existing market. Do you have secured market? So that when I give you the funds will come back for me to give to another borrower. So basically, these are the things that we look out for, and the prospect as well.
Solution Oasis hopes to become a global brand, and Minan Foods is looking to expand. By helping these businesses grow, the Cosmos Innovation Center is confident more jobs will be created, offering employment opportunities to Ghana's teeming unemployed youth. Adelaide Arthur, Joy News, Accra.
Energy expert Kojo Poku says comments by the Energy Minister Boakye Ejako that the Timur Oil Refinery would be turned into a tank farm after new refineries have been constructed in Ghana will affect investor confidence. Managing Director of the Timur Oil Refinery, Isaac Osei, yesterday reacted to those comments and said past problems of the company must not be used to judge its future. We'll hear the thoughts of the energy expert in a bit, but first listen to what Mr. Isaac Osei told us.
Our government wants to add on. So far as I'm concerned, the new refinery that we are planning to build, it's part of our strategic plan. But it is also part of our strategic plan to ensure that the existing refinery works. And I have no doubt in my mind that with the technicians and engineers that we have, TOR, now in a better place than it has been for years, will work. And not only will it will work efficiently and effectively and give meaning to the government's program of ensuring that the industrial sector works well. I think there ought to be synergies also between the production that we find in our fields today and a refinery such as TOR. Additional refineries are welcome, and I think the government is right to ensure that we have new refineries in this country, probably in an export processing zone. But at the same time, we must not lose sight of the fact that we have trained, experienced, competent individuals who are working as engineers and technicians in present-day TOR. And these are national assets. And as national assets, we should protect them. I don't think that the conversion into a tank farm is the way forward. I don't even know whether it is government policy. But once my minister has spoken about it at an international forum such as OTC, where we are now, I will just say that I will continue to engage the minister so that we come up with a strategy going forward which will be of benefit not only to TOR but also to our country.
Sharing his thoughts on the marketplace, energy expert Kojo Poku said the comments made by the energy minister at the ongoing offshore technology conference in Houston, Texas was unfortunate.
It's a miscommunication. I think there should be a meeting between the management and board of TOR and the sector minister, because TOR as a company, and I'm repeating again, TOR is a company that has its own board and they have their own plans. They have plans to build a new 100,000 barrels per day refinery next to the old one. They are not trying to basically say that, look, we are going to scrap the old one. They are doing the maintenance and retrofitting the existing to do the 60,000 barrels a day. But they have plans to also merge the old refinery with a new refinery to do 100,000 barrels per day. So TOR as a company have their own plans. If government wants to build another plant or another refinery in the western region, that should be something completely different from the plans that TOR as a company has. So that's why I'm saying that, to me, I would advise both parties to have a meeting and trash this thing out, because it keeps coming up in the media and it's not healthy for investor confidence.
Very well. Now, quickly before you go, making such statements on an international platform like what is currently going on in the US, would it not affect investor confidence in future?
No, it has. It will. And it has already. The damage has been done. And that's what I'm saying, that there's the need to address the situation, because OTC, and as I speak to you, the management of TOR is in OTC with the minister. So for the minister to make that statement at OTC when the management of TOR is there trying to get investors to invest in TOR as it is, because bear in mind, no matter what we do, we cannot just scrap TOR. It's a company that needs to survive, because you're going to scrap it so that the 1,000 people that work there to do what? You're going to build a new refinery to employ the 1,000 that works at TOR. We are trying to increase employment, not increase unemployment.
Telecom Giant MTN is now targeting to list on the Ghana Stock Exchange by June ending this year. It has finally secured all the necessary regulatory approvals and is likely to raise a little over 3 billion cedis and give away 35% of the business to the public. Vice President of MTN in charge of Southern, Eastern Africa and Ghana, Ebenezer Asante, has been explaining to Joy Business why MTN wants to go public.
The kind of business we do, the data that we churn, the technology that we deploy, it is a very, very transparent technology. The amount of information and data that we make decisions on is all produced internally by our system. So if the business has grown to a level where it's almost become like a national brand, it is about time we made all the citizens of Ghana the shareholders of this business, so long as they have the interest to partake in. So by going public, yes, we will open ourselves up. We don't have anything to hide. And I will be happy for all the regulators to zoom in on MTN. And the more they do that, the more we also give that confidence back to the whole country that this business is here not only to partner to deliver huge profits, but it's here also to partner to deliver national development agenda.
How easy or how difficult it was? I mean, I know how instrumental you were into this and continue with the growth to another level altogether. Now I'm opening up the book, open day. Everybody should come and look at it.
It has always been the case. Even before we started talking localization, our books has always been open, GRA, and that's why we are able to put up our tax payment amounts. That's why we are able to share how much we are paying to NCA. Our books are open. Our books will remain open even when we go public. So that has never been a problem.
We are moving on now. Provisions, livestock, and foodstuff are the first things that come to mind when you go to the market, isn't it? But a place where you'd find some rather strange things like dead monkey heads, chameleons, and the likes is a new talk of town. JoyNews' Ruby Boafo reports on a section of the Timur Market here in Accra where trading in dead animals is booming.
Inside Timur Market, everything looks like any other market in Ghana. But as you walk through the alleys and past the usual food items and other wares on display, you may find this weird part of the market. At this small corner of the market, some traders are selling some strange items like dead frogs and dead chameleons.
My grandmother used to sell this during the Nkrumah regime. We used to be at the Makola No. 2 market, but we had to be relocated here because of the strong smell of our products. Initially, this place used to be a cemetery, but had to be converted into a shopping center due to our relocation.
Auntie B, a 66-year-old trader here. She has been selling here for a long time. At 12 years, she started selling these unusual items to some interesting patrons of the market.
No, me been a 12 years.
I was 12 years when I started helping my mother. With this business, we have all kinds of herbs to treat any kind of illness. Aside the herbs, I also sell some animal parts.
Timur Market is located in the center of Accra. The items sold at this market are not the regular vegetables, fruits, meat, among others. Hajia also sells similar products. She has been in the business for 30 years. As strange as these items are, so are the sources. Hajia and her friends have suppliers who get them these items from all over the country and sometimes from Togo and Benin.
I've been in business for good 30 years. And we started with herbs, fever, gonorrhea, and this thing. And we are dealing with part of herbalist medicine.
But who really buys these items? Hajia and Auntie B are careful about telling us about what kind of people usually walk into this part of the market to buy a piece of thunderstone and what on earth they might be used for. But Hajia is quick to explain what this doll can do for women who have no children of their own.
What I'm using, they call it twins gauze, but especially for twins. During the Omo World Festival, they normally use it. And some people use it for love. Maybe male and female, if you are against, you can use it against or support in love. It is especially is for the twins, male and female. But this one is double-headed. You see the way I'm all, is double. So this is female with double head. This one is male with double head. If they are male twins, you can use 142. If it's existing, you can use the one. This one will be in the front, but the one that is not exist will be at the back. Some people have the pocket one, the smallest one. They take it to office. Some dress it and put it in front of them as partner, but he or she is no more. So we normally give it to them. Some decorate it and take it along with them. This thunderstone, some use it for bathing, and they use it to, I don't know. This one I can't explain better, but what I know, some people use it for bathing. That's how we are selling it.
Hajia says this business has impacted on her life positively as it has helped her cater for her children up to the university level.
My children graduated from the lodge. I thank God. It's okay. And our mother too brought us from this very lodge. It's a blessing.
Weird or not, so long as there exists a need for such items, Hajia and Auntie B will always be in business. This sale of herbs and animal parts is good business for them, something they want to do for a long time. Ruby Boafo reporting for Joy News.
Well, that is really weird, very spooky. Well, let's turn to some news from Kumasi. Officials of the Ghana Revenue Authority have removed goods without excise tax stamps off the shelves of shops in the regional capital. The exercise is to enforce the rollout of the implementation of the tax stamp policy. The Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Kofi Nti, earlier at the press conference charged consumers to desist from buying products without the excise tax stamps embossed on them.
That's how I know about it. And the issues of boycotting products, I think that's the up to word. Ghanaians must boycott products without a tax stamp. And in some of these things, as you interact with people, you begin to get core messages that you have to go forward with. And for me, in our next going forward, we will make that message clear. That Ghanaians should boycott products that should have tax stamp, and yet they don't have them. So, Madam, thank you for the education. We go along with that boycott thing. Then we are saying that the going after enforcement is a sustained process that we are adopting. So I take it out, it isn't that we come and go, then they have their field day, and then it's like we do it haphazardly. And one off. No. We want to sustain the processes. And the GRA offices in the various regions and then cities and towns are supposed to do the follow-ups. So we will be giving them the strength and the capacity to do the follow-ups so that we sustain it and people do not take advantage of it.
And as we conclude tonight, we want to bring you our interview of the day. Government has begun discussions with a Chinese export credit guarantee for the implementation of the flagship One District, One Factory program. The facility, when successful, will help investors seeking to procure equipment from China for the establishment of various factories get flexible financing support from the government of China. Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Robert Ahumka-Lindsay, has been telling us more about it.
The government's role is to facilitate our businesses by offering options. We offer options. One of the options is working with our local banks, and as I said, they've committed 2.5 billion cedis towards this. Another option is continuing working, and my minister is working very closely to carve out a program where we get Chinese export credit guarantee. Let me explain what that is. Our businesses want equipment, and the equipment may be coming from China. So the Chinese government offers a guarantee, offers financing, which we have then to support here to engage. But it's not just China. So we continue in that dialogue, and some of that, our minister made various pronunciations on that. We also have similar arrangement with Italy. The Italian government has the same thing. You would have read, I hope you picked up, about a week ago, the British have increased the export cover from about 170 million pounds to 500 million pounds. That is, again, offering options to our industry. So please, government roles provide the options available. Ours is not to tell the companies, you will go and take this from X, because that is not the role. The companies make much better decisions on resources than we can do. So we offer those options. We're having similar discussions with the Americans. I was at the US Exim 2 weeks ago, and we hope to have some positive coming through. We'll continue to have similar dialogue with the Canadians. We're having similar dialogue with the Indians. So this is all part of the facilitation we do as a government. But at the end of the day, it is facilitations and options. No one route is going to fit everything.
And that'll be it for our program tonight. As we head into the weekend, we want to remind you there's more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. our latest stories will not adjust 25% service fee that's coming from Uber. Also, AGI telling government to speed up trade facilitation reforms. Of course, we've got all the videos just in case you missed out on any of our bulletins. My name is Daryl Kyle. Thanks for watching. We are back next week.